Sir Daniel 1975 back, and I am here with a do-it-yourself project, a DIY project. And if you've read the title, you already know, but I am here to make a lightsaber hilt, and I'm going to do it out of PVC. I've done it before many years ago in the past, before people were really doing this thing. I did it in the late 90s. I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to try and make it a little better. I'm much more skilled now with my tasks in this realm of things, so maybe I will put together something really special. At least that's my plan, and let's get going. Alright, as you see here, I got several pieces, some coupling pieces and stuff like that, and some other things here. Some things are going to be the bottom, some things are going to be possibly the emitter. And the one thing I got to there's two things I've got to do to all of them. First off, some of them are going to need some trimming. This one here needs this lip here trimmed off. And all of them are going to need sanding. So that's what I'm going to get started with first. Funny thing, I never realized it, but one of these pipes has my name printed on it, and it actually almost says Sir Daniel. Okay, they are done being sanded on the outside. Some of the pieces will eventually need the insides done, so that when you put glue in, it helps bond to the other pieces. So now it's my plan to show some of my ideas that I had. So this was intended to be the end cap. So my idea would be that would go in there, and I'm not going to push it in all the way yet, but I will probably put a little bit of glue in there and hammer it in all the way. So essentially speaking, end cap. Okay? Alright. So essentially speaking, this is the emitter, so that should be on that end, but it needs a piece to attach to here. But then that needs a piece to attach to this. Okay? And then this is going to need some kind of a coupling in the middle to be the housing for the switch. Okay. So, then I have these other pieces, and I would probably, well, one is a little closer fit. Yeah, I could cut some of these to do something too. So I could put the switch up here and then put this towards the bottom. And I could cut more couplings out of this, and I could also put some rings, which I had thought about putting some rings. My original PVC lightsaber build that I had put rings on it. So I think I'm going to do that. So let's prep that. And I'm going to cut this piece up. And I'll start cutting up rings, and I'll have to start measuring them. And then figuring out where they're going to go. And I'll probably put them up here, because it'll be kind of cool looking. So I did a 1/4 of an inch ring, and I will make some more. I'm probably going to do just 4. Okay, I've got some of the rings pretty much pre-done with the cutting and grinding. I just got to do some grinding on this one to give it that rounded shape. So I'll let you show how I'm doing that. Or let you show. I'll show you how I'm doing that. Alright, there you go. And I will have to sand them up to make them a little bit better. Okay, I have done the center detail pieces. So here's my little concept so far. End cap area. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to pop that in all the way yet because I want to put some glue on it. So this is the center coupling piece that I just did, and then the ring pieces come up from that. And of course, they're not glued in place, and I'm going to use, I don't know, I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to glue them in place, but anyway, there's that. And then we have the emitter. I am going to cut that because it's too big, but just for giggles. That's the lightsaber hilt right now. So it's kind of a long one too, but then cutting this piece and shortening that, the emitter head, that'll help. And of course, that'll be hammered in all the way, and this will be actually down here a little bit. But that is where it is going as of now. So I'll use whichever piece is the best, and then I'll sand it up and make it better. So that is pretty much what it's going to look like. Obviously these aren't spaced right for now, but something more like that. But anyway, there you go. See, I shortened that piece. There's the chunk that was no good. That's how much I took off. And in looking at this, I'm thinking about, let's see, I'm thinking about cutting off some of this because I think it's too long. What do we want? We want it to be in the 12-inch neighborhood. So I need to cut off about 1.5 inches. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. And brand new bottle. Let's put this down here. Gonna have to do this where I want it visually. Alright, so now I know where to put the tape. Alright, I'm gonna take a break and let these things glue set a little bit. I'll probably come back to it in a couple of hours and see how it is. Okay, so I let it dry, and that's what it did. And I knew it would do something like that. So basically you got to come and trim off the glue when it does this. So that's what I'm going to start doing. Okay, I cleaned it up mostly. Got 90-something% of it off that mess. And so it is cleanable, but I'm going to let it continue to dry before I do anything else. And I think when I do the other pieces, I'm just going to use a lot of JB Weld instead of that. And I do like that glue a lot. It is actually my favorite glue, the Gorilla Glue. But so that I don't have to do so much cleaning, I'm going to just continue to use another glue. Okay there, YouTube. This is it as it stands at this stage. And I got to do some cleanup for glue and then take the tape out. Yeah, I know these rings aren't 100% straight, but I will, maybe if there's something I can do, I'll try, but I don't think there's much I can do about it, but except maybe paint that whole section black so it looks like a grip section. So anyway, and the rest of it would just be silver. So I'm going to get moving. Okay, YouTube, it's mostly cleaned up. and pull all the tape off and everything. Well, 2 of the rings did not adhere when I glued it down. So I'm going to do something different. So I'm either just going to cut them, take them off, not use them at all, or I'm going to cut them and trim them so that they stick tighter to the, because they're so loose, because there's a big gap, you know, and then maybe I can get them to adhere better, plus I'll resand the inside of them, which I think that's what I'm going to try to do. So there might be a couple of inconsistencies in one spot for those, but I like the idea of having like this top grip part here, and like this is where you hold it down there like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, YouTube, in more careful consideration, in order to speed this up, I've decided that's where I'm going to put the activation switches in there. I don't know, let me see. Yeah, I guess that's fine, yeah. Put the activation switch there. And, you know, sometimes they're up here, if they're down there. I mean, it don't really matter, but I think it'll be cool to put it there. I think it'll still have enough interestingness to it. And I'll make like this section black, black, and then this will be silver-ish, metalish. So I might do some different metal colors in here somewhere. So we'll see. I might do a little bit of bronze up in here instead. That might be kind of cool. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just clean it all up more. Then I'm going to patch in the cracks with this, with spackle. Then I'll have to clean it up again, and then after that I'll do some painting. Alright, I've started filling in the gaps with this spackle. So you see how it does it really well there. And I did it in here too. And don't worry how I'm doing this. I'm putting it on messy intentionally, because there's a trick that I got going on here that will make this work. So as you can see, it already looks better. It's just got a little bit of a mess, and then you just take some paper towel and just clean up the edges a little bit. And then it looks like that. Okay, then you let it dry, and you just do a little light sanding, and it looks great. Okay, YouTube, I'm back. I've let it dry, getting ready to sand it, and also I've got to grind open this hole. I pre-drilled the hole, and that was the biggest bit that I had, but that's got to go in there as the activation switch. But I need to make it bigger, and I've traced around how big I need it to be, so I'm going to use the Dremel to make that happen. So hopefully this bit I got here will work. Let me do something here. It is a bit cold out. It's about 25 degrees. So bear with me. I don't want to make a mess of a paint job. There we go. I have done some things, and in trying to fix one thing, this ring did come loose. So what I ended up doing was screwing it in, and I've had to put more spackle down to fill in the gaps, but I was able to get it way more straight than it was, so it actually has made the saber look better. And as that dries, I'll go and grind over the screws a little bit more. So I have been grinding them down. A couple more things that I've done. So yeah, obviously I've got that set right. I'm not pushing it in all the way because I don't want it to stick. And the control dial, which is on the emitter area on some sabers. Something they used to do, and you don't see them anymore, or at least you didn't see them on the prequel trilogy sabers, I don't think. And I did something similar to Luke's triangular ring on the bottom there, so that you can attach it to a belt. I didn't have a piece of tin or aluminum to bend around, so I just used a piece of leather. So I'm just kind of testing everything before I paint it and, you know, finish it off. So just to kind of give that's kind of how it's going to look. So you'll be yeah, I made sound effects. That'd be your activation switch. Okay, YouTube, I have cleaned it up. I have dusted it off, and I'm ready to put my first coat of spray paint on it, which will do detail painting after the coats of spray paint. So, all right. Okay, I'm ready to start doing some of the detail paint, and I'm going to start by doing the section that I wanted to do in bronze. So, I'm going to see if I can pick out a brush here that I like. Let's see, that'd be a good one. Yeah, that'll be fine. So the bronze section is going to be this, that, and I guess, no, maybe not there, I don't know, we'll see. I know I'm going to do this spot right here, so anyway, I'll get going on that. Yeah, I probably could use a bigger brush, but this will be fine. I polyacryliced the base coat that I gave it, so this paint should go well over that. And then what I'll do is, once I do the main coloring, I'll polyacrylic it again, let it dry, then I'll go back and I will do probably some colorization washes. I'm probably going to do a dirty wash and then do a silver wash. So that'll be kind of cool looking, I think. I did one of my last models. I did my last model. I did a silver wash on it because the ship has a metallic, supposed to have a metallic look to it, and it came out looking really cool. So anyway, I'm going to continue to do detail painting and come back when I've done some more. Okay, there. So this is it before I do any of the weathering techniques with the washes and stuff. Actually, I need to spray a coating on, but that's it. As you can see, there's the hook for the belt, the adjustment wheel, and the activation button. So there you go. So it looks kind of cool. It does have a certain I think, lightsaber-esque quality to it. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. So here I go. So I'm going to put it on pretty good and thick. I'm just going to start painting it on. And I just fling a bunch of it everywhere. And that's that. So I'll let it sit for a few minutes and then I'll wipe it off. Okay, I'm wiping it off, and it really, really dirtied it up. I literally left this on maybe 5 minutes, and that's what it did. Yeah, that's some serious, that wash that I made, and I made that wash a while back. It's been sitting, and I've noticed the longer that wash sits, the more it's good at doing this, and actually is almost too good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Boy, if somebody's really looking for a weathered look on something, man, that is it. So I'm gonna let that sit and dry, and then I'm gonna go over it with the other wash and kind of bring some of it back. I may have to repeat the processes a little bit, but yeah, cool. Okay, and now I'm going to give it a shot with the silver wash. See what happens, because some of it got really, really dirty. This might loosen some of it up and bring back a little bit of shine. It just needs a little bit more shine. Some spots I'm going to leave extra dirty. Okay. Give me a moment and I'll be back with some paper towel. There we go. And I think that is a finished saber. So I actually like that. I know some people are like, "Oh my God, it looks disgusting." It's kind of what I was going for. A real rustic saber. Like you may have seen it in, like I said, the Dark Forces game, and like Jedi Knight, and that again, which was Dark Forces 2. The sabers in that game were really, really rustic looking, and I was kind of like that. And so there you go. That's my homage to that game there. I think it's pretty cool. Here, let me get this out of the way so we can have a different background to it. And just kind of there's a little bit of hot glue down in there. I had to do that for the piece that fell in earlier that I couldn't get out, so I hot glued it in place. It's one of my little fixes I didn't get to show on camera, but anyway, there you go. So I'll give it a coating again so that it stays, so it protects everything that's on there, and And I think that's pretty cool. So this is something that could definitely be used as, say, a cosplay thing or Halloween or something like that. And I think people would dig it. So there you go. There is the saber that I was going for. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you like this kind of content, subscribe, click like, leave a comment, ring the notification bell, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.